Cool. If I'm looking this way, it's because I'm looking at the questions.
Sounds good.
I just have those on the side just in case. But yeah.
Amazing.
Yay. Let me get the chat open. Okay. And let me put in torque. Yeah, I had my kids at swim class just a few minutes ago. And right when it ended, the power went out at the location. Hello, Jeff. Welcome. Yeah, so I had to warn Ritvi about possible power outages, but my parents' power went out, but hopefully. Yes, sea salt, she ships. She ships seashells. One of these days, let's see. One of these days it'll make sense to talk about seashells. I'll be by the beach next month, so maybe then.
Ooh, wait, what beach?
We're meeting my cousins in Siesta Key in Florida. You were near there just, recently when you were,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
Amelia. Turn
lovely. I
Amelia.
love it.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's go ahead.
someone joined us.
Carlene, yay. Yeah, so we can go ahead and get started. I'm sorry if you hear Sebastian coughing in the background.
Oh, I'll be doing a harmony with him. So great.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Perfect. Thank you for joining us, even though you're not feeling 100%. This is Ritvi. She is at CodeRabbit, and I met her at ATO last fall. And then we spotted each other across the room at an event in Chile and got really excited. And
Yeah.
I will let you tell more about yourself.
Hi, folks. Usually, I have a very simple introduction where I just like I call myself a maker. Bottom line, end of the story. That is all. I like to introduce myself as a maker. But since you already have access to my profiles, I will divulge a little bit about the work I do. I am part of the DevX team in CodeRabbit. We do a lot of exciting, weird, cool stuff that Roxy has also been a part of, and I run my own makerspace in Bangalore. So yeah, fun stuff.
That's awesome because I don't know a lot about your makerspace, the makerspace part of your life. So feel free to expand on that. Like, I, it just being a librarian that covers so much. So yeah, just talk about
One
previously
of my
being a
core
librarian.
memories, Roxy, is sitting and doing maker stuff in a library in Australia.
Yeah.
So yeah, librarians are my favorite creatures on earth. The amount I've pestered my librarians as an 11-year-old, you're lucky I wasn't in your library, yes.
But yeah, so is it kind of like tinkering or like what are you making? What are you working on? I know we had a
Everything
lot of
under the
3D
sun.
printers.
Not yet. I do have a bunch of different clubs who have 3D printers, so we work in collaboration. But basically, it's the idea behind the makerspace is if you're not bad at something, or if you haven't been bad at something recently, that is a high chance that means you're not learning something new. Because that is, if you're learning something new or being uncomfortable, is when you're bad at things. So the idea is to put people in a space where you come to do what you're comfortable at, but you know how you keep seeing something on social media enough times, you're like, let's just give it a try. That's the idea, to put like very unorthodox, unconventional things together in the same room and let people just expand organically, slowly, without, like a jerk into it. And then, you know how you do something once and then you never go back to it? I don't want that to happen to people. So we do IoT, we have an AI study group. I'm obsessed with glass. So I do like 5 to 6 different kinds of glass art. So flame working, lamp
Oh,
working.
that's really cool.
Yeah, do you want to see a quick stained glass working?
Yes. Like don't even finish your question. Yes, I would like to see.
There you go. That's one of them.
Oh, that is so cool. I had a former principal that was really into oh my gosh, that sort of
Yeah,
art. I'm spacing on what. on what we call it. Somebody tell me. Stained glass, right?
Yeah, stained
Yes.
glass.
Okay. It's
Stained
been a while
glass.
since I thought that's beautiful.
Yeah, this bottle cutting, drilling bottles. Yeah, like
Oh, is the bottle cutting sort of like, because I know I've seen on Etsy where people will cut the top off a bottle and smooth it out and like sell it as a glass. Is that what you're talking
yeah,
about? Kind of like that?
yeah,
Okay.
that. And then cutting it in different forms, flame working. So this is like a flower I've made, which is like my sister made this actually because I forced her
Oh,
into doing this also.
cool.
Yeah, it's I need to. I'm not sure. I don't think I have a scissor here, obviously. Never the right tool at the right time, but yeah, anything under the sun, glass. And I grew up. So my mom is this undiagnosed ADHD person who can't see you sitting still. Like, how are you not doing something? So every summer, she used to send me out to learn something. She's like, you're not wasting your time. So I found this teacher who's extremely patient with me. And I thought she taught me like 2, 3 different art forms every year. So quilling, stuffed toys, hand stitched, clay work, bead dolls, like so much under the sun I've learned over the years. And now it's a habit. So even now, when I still travel, including Miami, Roxy, I go visit an artist, try to learn something.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
really cool. What did you learn? What did you visit in Miami? Where'd you go?
lamp working. So I went to an artist and I learned how to make implosion technique. So yeah, this flower I learned in London a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, fun stuff.
That is really cool. Yeah, I feel like my parents were similar, but nothing ever stuck because I feel like it was mostly school related.
I think
Like
this is something
not
like
super fun stuff.
yeah. I think my mom is really good at manipulating me, like in a great way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because we did a lot of summer school, but not a lot of crafting. So that would have been nice. Now I'm thinking about stuff that my kids could do. So thank you.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's one thing I do every time I go to a new place. I look up makerspaces near me because then like that's where I'll find people who tell me the weirdest things that are happening in the city. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's a really good idea.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's neat. Yeah, you'd get more ideas from them. Did you do anything in Miami after someone was talking to you about different stuff?
No, I just went to the lamp working artist. Honestly, I you were there for AI. You weren't there for AI,
No, no,
right?
no, not AI, just React Miami.
Yeah, I was socially so tired. I did try to
Oh
go to salsa
gosh.
though, because I used to learn salsa earlier, and I have like a proper pair of shoes also. So I tried
Oh,
to learn salsa
nice.
a couple of times. Do not remember a lot of it. So
Was that at the Vercel event or are you talking about just separate from that?
no, not the Versailles event, but just the same place. That whole street has a lot of salsa places.
Oh, wow. Cool. That's really neat. Yeah. No, I can imagine that you were exhausted because that was a full week of work. Like, and whenever it's yeah, and I've learned that when you're working a conference, you're not even done until you like leave the conference. like leave that city because there's the nighttime events too. And so yeah,
And
it
it
is.
was
It's very
Miami.
draining.
Everyone had the energy to party, right? So like we were at booth 7:30 a.m. and then at 10 p.m. people were like, "Oh, after party," and I was
Yeah,
like,
I know. Yeah. So I had to rally. I had to rally, figure out how to rally. Curleen knows she was there. It was like people had to rally. Yeah, this is Curleen. She was at React Miami as well.
"Oh,
Um, but yeah, so okay, so you grew up crafting a ton, so you're super creative. Uh, and you went to school for engineering, right?
correct, correct." I did
Yes.
electronics and telecommunication. Uh, Loved it. I'm a firmware engineer by background. Apps. I was also part of the Robocon team the first year. Quick intro into Robocon. It's an Asia Pacific competition where you make a manual robot and a autonomous robot, and that meant 13 hours a day, 7 days a week. I remember the first year of my college. I was in college all the time, and it was
Wow.
amazing. Yeah. Uh, have very close
Yeah, and
friends from the Robocon thing. Yeah.
and and this was so I know it says that it's for women, but like I know like some of our schools are also women schools, but I think there are some men that attend. So is this like legit like all women?
All women. There are male professors, but that's pretty
Mm.
much it. all women, and it's amazing because our campus, so India, as you all might or might not know, can be tad unsafe depending on the areas. Not all areas, some places are very safe, but it is a risk at the end of the day, any city, right? But because it was a women's only campus, there were no rules. You like, I remember there were girls who used to live nearby in the hostels. They used to turn up in their pajamas because they were running late for classes. No one would say anything. It was amazing. It was like truly like how it should be. The world should be, just no one giving, like, you can be whoever, whatever, do whatever, wear whatever. It was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. So so less pressure in general. Like
Yeah, like
to yeah, for like for the more, I don't want to say shallow, but I can't think of the word. For the more superficial things. It was more laid back.
yeah, like there was no, I think there was no afterthought whether or not something was done to you or spoken to you, because, or like, there was no gender bias, there was no room for gender
Mm-hmm.
bias, right? So it was like, cool, it's like there's no extra thought you need to give, you don't have to overthink it. It's amazing, right?
Yeah. Oh, that does sound nice.
Yeah, it was
I
awesome.
went to yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no. I just my own, like, the closest experience I have to that is in the dorms. Like whenever, like, your whole floor, yeah. But no, I went to a co-ed school, so it was just that one floor.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I think I was very against it initially, for that matter, because I always grew up tomboyish. I always was into sports, always had guy friends. But this was like an extremely great experience, and I'm very grateful that I could like be a part of it. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it sounds really good. And so how, I don't know, I guess kind of what was your journey into tech after that? Because it sounds like you were more, what you said, electrical engineering?
Electronics. Yeah.
Electronics, okay.
Yes,
Yeah, so what was
IoT
your
stuff.
journey into, yeah, into, I guess, I don't know, take us to where you are now, I guess.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
great. That's an amazing journey, because I have like dabbled around in so many things. Um, I have been extremely fortunate with the mentors and the people I meet along the way, especially for my career. So the makerspace thing, the makerspace is near me thing, I've been doing that since I was like 14, because I was obsessed with makerspaces when I first found out about Arduino accidentally while clicking around on websites. When I was 14, I had my first Arduino kit by the time I was 16. So that's how I came across electronics. And I was like, oh, I want to do electronics. And first year of my college, I'm like, oh, internships and makerspaces near me. I find this makerspace run by a person who contributes and maintains the GCC compiler. Another person who's worked in Arduino and designed a bunch of boards for them, and has been part of a different college's Robocon team, some OG WordPress people. These were my first mentors who introduced me to what community meant. So this is, I'm talking about like Linaro hardware community people, right? So that was my first entry. They were extremely nice to me, and like still remember. They gave me a project. I started working on it as a first year, student. I was extremely confident. I was like, this is easy. I got this. I'll figure it out. And I start working on it. It takes me 1 week to just install the OS. I remember Zephyr. I don't know if you'll have heard of Zephyr RTOS. It is a real-time operating system, and it was in its very early days. So like right now it runs great off the bat, but back then it took like a lot of installing, to the point I learned what was LTS for the first time because I'd installed the wrong OS on my laptop. So it was like 1 week of lot of installing, uninstalling, and working with them. So I remember I had to do a project with a MOSFET, and there was an end goal that was defined. And I turn up in the morning, I am tinkering around, and I'm like, okay, what do I do next? And my mentor's like, you know the outcome. And I'm like, yeah, but do I solder it? Do I use a breadboard? What do I use? He's like, here's the lab. You know the components. Go figure. And I do this really weird, knacky stuff with alligator clips and a board, which is very dangerous, right? Like in hindsight, it's extremely dangerous. And he's like, what's the worst that'll happen? The trip will go off. Great. We have our systems in place. Go figure. But that single day gave me so much confidence in just, trying things, that it's that's my mindset at this point. So I got into that. They mentored me. And I was very sure I wanted to do electronics on the longer run. And but because of that, I got into communities. I started running clubs in college. I realized, oh, people don't know that there's such a big world out there. And I started leading the yeah, a supportive mentor makes so much difference, right? I'm still connected with them. They're my biggest cheerleaders. And I still remember I ran a hackathon. Things were going very wrong. And I go tell my mentor this. And he just looks at me. He's like, Ritvi, if I know anyone who can pull this off, it's you. And that single instance gets me through so many things even today. So yeah, a supportive mentor makes all the difference. But yeah, I started leading the IEEE club. I was the chairperson for it for almost a year and a half. And I was also an MLSA. And one of my mentors in the Microsoft program reposted a job in developer advocacy for a cellular IoT company. And I reached out to this person, spoke to him, and then my mentor also advocated for me. And I got my first job out of college in DevRel at an insanely good company. Uh, and yeah, that's how I got into DevRel. But unfortunately, 8 months into it, there was a layoff. I was part of it. And at that point, I had to choose between electronics and DevRel. I chose DevRel, got into DevRel for WebRTC. So learned WebRTC, did a lot of talking at conferences, did not like the company, quit, got into e-commerce enablement. So taught e-commerce and development to people for a year, organized DevRelCon India, got into CodeRabbit, and
Wow. I didn't
yeah,
realize I didn't realize you organized a conference too.
yeah. I organized a bunch of conferences, but DevRelCon Bangalore was a significant one for the
That's
journey.
awesome. Yeah, I bet. I think the one in the US is happening soon.
Oh yeah, that's why
And yeah,
MLH has been a huge part of my journey too. I've been a coach with them for 5 years. Great
that's
organization.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's on my I have like conference bucket lists and that's on my list for next year. We'll see. um well I was so I have your LinkedIn open and as you're like talking, I'm like looking through your your journey.
Yes.
Because I know you said you were leading a lot of communities, but you were also a community manager as well, right? Like as your job right before DevRel or also alongside with DevRel?
So the thing is, I was the only person outside the US in the first company, and like I think when we talk about imposter, and I think that was one opportunity that I did not make the most of because of imposter syndrome. But yeah, they hired me. They're like, India is a region, do whatever. And I had so much creative freedom, and my manager was amazing. He's like, I don't have a North Star for you, unfortunately, Ritvi. So go be creative. And I'm like, that's something I thrive at. So I remember back then I wasn't in Bangalore. I came here, organized a bunch of workshops off the bat. I'm still connected with all of them till date, the people who turned up. Uh, that was a very good workshop that we did. But yeah, that is how I started. I've always had mentors who've been like, go do your thing. And it's, yeah, very grateful.
Yeah, no, that's totally amazing. The support is very important, and it's awesome that you had that early on. Because I feel like a lot of us, especially like those of us that are that have switched careers or are working on switching careers, I feel like once you find 1, 2, 3 good communities, you'll find like mentors within each one that like push you and encourage you and yeah, so very important, and I'm glad that that was such a big part of your journey because it was, obviously I think it's a big deal and you're like living proof. So
Absolutely. So I think one of the first conferences that I attended was a DevRelCon in Prague in 22. And one of my
nice.
favorite talks there was exactly this, There was a neuroscientist who came and gave a talk about how you join communities for the dopamine because you're like, oh, I belong, people relate. But you stay for the oxytocin because you find this one person that either you care about or they care about you. So yeah, that's how
That's
communities are
such a
built.
good point. Yeah. And definitely like, the post-conference blues. I feel like your community always helps with that because especially if like you get to meet some of them in person, my favorite thing is like retelling all of the silly jokes and stuff. Like being like, "Hey, remember just yesterday when this happened and it was so great and now we're miles apart?"
No, but I think Roxy, you've really mastered the art of it. I think your bracelet thing is just a masterstroke. I want to come up with something like that of my own. I am brainstorming, so hopefully you'll get something cool the next time you meet me.
Thank you. I actually, so do you know Bree Hall? Bree
No.
Hall, she was at Atlassian and now she is, somebody help me, I can't remember. She just switched over to, begins with an S. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. She makes like the cutest videos. Anyway, at Epic WebConf last year, she gave me a bracelet, like as part of a little like girls in tech, like little zipper bag with like pen, like stationery and pens, and it was the cutest little thing. And it had a bracelet in it. And then that's whenever I was like, oh my gosh, like we should just do this. And now, and I know Christina at Resend also does it. So yeah,
Mm.
definitely a super cute idea. Yeah, oh, I don't have it on. Dang it. She made me a torque bracelet, and I made her a
Oh,
cafecito bracelet because Resend did the coffee station at React Miami.
that is so cute.
But yeah, oh yes, I love that. Thanks for putting that there, Janet, because I want to. Definitely a good quote.
Yeah, it
um,
is.
yeah. Sorry. See, look, we were talking about tangents earlier, and then I did it.
I love it. I think
Yeah.
that's how you get to the weirdest topics you would never thought you'd talk to someone. So I let it flow.
Yeah, no, that's true. Okay, so going back to your support system, you obviously have like amazing mentors. And then you mentioned imposter syndrome. So, like, what does a bad day look like for you? And how do you cope, or like, how do you utilize your support system?
um, my bad days have a lot of like, of course, there's a spectrum of it. I'm like nothing compared to yours, Roxy, because you have just so much probability of
Oh
things
my
going
God. Look, a house and children and just everything all at once. Yes.
Yeah. So I don't have like that much of a spectrum, but I managed to make my life hard. Always can. But no,
True
bad
talent.
days. Yeah, but I think I have a lot of defense mechanisms in place. One of the things I'm very conscious about is not falling for self pity. Like, sure, self care and wallowing, like just making peace with the situation is one thing, but not giving into it is extremely important because it's very easy to spiral out then because the algorithm is now supposed to support whatever you're thinking. So the second you fall into that, everywhere you're going to see that and it's dangerous, right?
Yes.
Um, so I'm very conscious about that. The one thing I do everything like this is something I've been doing it for like 2 years is my favorite book is I forget the name. I have it somewhere here, but it's like the art of creativity. Let me
Mm.
look it up quickly for us. But that's I
Yeah.
follow a lot of. Uh, Let me look this book up. This book, y'all, is amazing. The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. It is one of my favorite books, and it was actually recommended to me by my little sister, whom I'm very close with. But this book basically talks about how it does spiritualize a couple of things, but the bottom line is everything is a muscle, and so is creativity. And one of the things she talks about is doing things with intention and paying attention. So doing things with intention, as in everything that I do, like from drinking water to walking, should be done with intention and conscious thought. And the second thing she talks about is attention. She talks about how her grandma had like a million problems, like her husband lost stuff to gambling and things like that. But in her letters, she would mention the bad parts, but she would also mention stuff like, oh, but the tiger lilies still bloomed, or they bloomed late this year, and things like that. And that is what she means by attention. Like, cool, there's a lot of bad stuff happening, but there's a lot of cool, really nice things happening that don't directly impact you, but you can let them impact you, right? So, like for me, it's I have this tall trees and sparrows theory of mine, where I'm like, okay, no matter how the day is going, if I notice tall trees or if I notice there are birds around me, I'm in the moment. I'm coping up. I
That's
can move
really
on.
cool.
Yeah. So that's one of my favorite things to talk about and think about. So yeah, that's how I
Yeah.
cope with
And
the bad. Sure, I don't get lost in it.
yeah, no, it's I think one of my faults is I don't take a lot of things very seriously. Um, but I think that it's also a very good coping mechanism because this is I don't know if you saw these jokes. I know I mentioned plumbing to you, but the twins shoved rocks and toys and even a frog, RIP to the frog, down a drain in our backyard. Like they took the cap off and it caused all kinds of plumbing issues and it cost us a lot of money. But we got it fixed. But yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh. But I think that so I'm like, I don't know if it's, I guess my birds and trees is trying to find the comedy in a situation.
Exactly, right? Like having fun is of course the bottom line. That's the one thing I talk about a lot in the interviews I go to is at the end of the day, this is something my dad tells a lot, talks about a lot, and I really follow through. He's like, even growing up when I interned the first 3 years, did not let me take money. He's like, you're not getting paid. Like even when I was offered money, because he's like, no, make sure that you're having fun, that you do not have any ulterior motives or incentives to doing things. If you're having fun at what you do, you're spending 8 hours a day doing it. The rest will figure,
Yeah.
right?
That is
So
a
making
really good lesson.
yeah, so the rest figures. So that's the thing. If you're having fun in whatever you're doing with every situation, however brutal for this matter.
Yeah. For real. Yeah. No, but that's a really good takeaway. And I'm sorry, like a lot of what you're saying, I'm kind of thinking about future parenting tactics.
Yeah, no, I think my parents, I make this joke where I'm like, yeah, my parents don't remember a lot of the parenting they did, which is very funny because now they fuss over me a lot. But I'm like, no, you made me the tough person I am. Like, so I had an accident earlier in January, and my parents were like, oh my God, you're hurt. Are you okay? I'm like, what are you talking about? I still remember in school, I fell down, and the school called them to pick me up. My mom's like, oh, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. And I was fine. It was great. It was a great lesson in me just self soothing and being okay. Now they're like, oh my kid. I'm like, this is not you.
Yeah.
This is not.
Yeah, no, that's funny. Oh, yeah. I agree. Like if you don't make a big deal out of something, then, you can kind of trick yourself and maybe the other person into thinking like, no, it's not a big deal. It's just a little blood. You're fine.
Yeah. My mom still is the queen of it. She's not to make a both ways, making a big deal, not to making a big deal. So
Yeah, I guess it just depends on your mood that day.
yeah.
So I guess like I love that you have, a lot of ways to combat imposter syndrome. You have a lot of, people on your side and everything. What is something that almost defeated you? Like what's an opportunity that you almost didn't take? Whether it was because it just wasn't your day or, I don't just the imposter syndrome almost won.
I think it happens too often in like the way I would like to describe is like paper cuts. I think for me, it's been a lot of tiny paper cut moments that I really wish didn't happen or I would have been more assertive. There's something I was talking to my manager about recently also. I'm a very easygoing, go with the flow kind of a person. And in that, I sometimes, or I have multiple times missed opportunities to be assertive and put my opinion forward, even though I'm very opinionated. I am like, why spoil the mood of the room? Let's go with the flow. Whereas if I had been opinionated and put my point forth at the cost of maybe, conflicting on a couple of notions, it would have been great. So I think, yeah, I think I've missed a bunch of opportunities by not being assertive. But I can't think of a very single specific opportunity. I'm sure there are many, and I'm gonna think about them all second I quickly. Any specifically now, folks? I'll put it in the Twitter thread that Roxy creates.
Yeah, that I'll do after. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, of course. I kind of put you on the spot there. What? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was typing some of the stuff that you were saying because I really like the paper cut moments. I really like that expression as well. And then I wanted to remember the trees and the birds situation. You just have a lot of you're very quotable.
Yeah, I have a framework. Like I try to boil everything down to a framework for me so that so one of the things I was obsessed with at 14 was these TED Talks. And I was like, watching TED Talks, like, like people who watch like TV series. And one of my favorite talks was the cookie jar method. So I forget one of the faster runners has this method called the cookie jar method, where it's basically about, and a lot of different speakers have different methods. Someone calls it the donut method. Basically, having quantizing your different wins in ways that you can think about them later to get through a hard journey. So this runner, it's a very famous name. I can't remember, obviously. But like he used to like, so who doing like long distance running or something. Every time they get tired, they're like, oh, do I continue? They think about the time they actually completed it, and that's like going into your jar and getting a cookie, like all your cookies that you've stacked up, and then using one of your cookies to push yourself through. And so I'm like, okay, I want a spectrum of cookies. I want a cookie for every situation. So I try to boil it down into frameworks and these things. I'm like, I can just take it out whenever I need it.
Yeah, no, I love that. And so this might be a silly question, but like, how do you keep the cookies like at the top of your mind, or like, do you have like someone was talking last week? Bree was talking about how she has like a win journal or like a brag journal. Is it sort of like that, or is this just like mental notes that you take and keep?
I think it's mental notes for the most part. And I also don't want to, at any given point, become stuck with one. So I let them evolve as I have grown also. Like I had similar principles when I was 21, but right now the principles have slightly more depth in how I use it. I think the same principles applied then as well, but how I perceive the world with those principles, I'm giving myself in the world more grace. So I let them evolve with me, but I think the general idea that I've grown up with, the framework has been, be happy, have fun. That applies all the time. I think that's the only framework that's not like changed over time. And yeah, I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, no, you definitely give off a very like fun and laid back um vibe. Like, I mean, I only met you the one time in October of 25, and then I saw you in Chile and I was just like, and like we didn't even like hang out for that long, but you were just, I don't know, you're just always so peppy and excited. So it's and I mean, you can have your off days, but running into you was definitely, I was just like, oh my gosh, I feel so much less alone right now.
Yeah, but I think that's the one thing that my friends and I talk about a lot. So I turned 26 this week, so I'm on the other side of 20s now.
Ah, happy early. Wait, you turned or you turn?
I turned 26 3 days ago.
Oh,
Uh,
happy belated birthday.
Thank you, thank
Sorry
you. But
that
now,
I missed saying anything.
oh, oh, you're good. I'm not a very public person. Like, you know how much I tweet. I don't. So I'm not a
Yeah.
very like. But so I'm like, oh, now I'm on the other side of 20s. I need to behave. I need to like think seriously and everything. Which is something my friends and I talk about a lot. We're like, we're just so excited about everything, every tiny thing that happens still. And I think that is a big accomplishment. And I want to be able to take that as much as I can into life as possible. So yeah.
That's awesome. I know we're, about at time. Is there, I know you said you had some stories from college. If you have any stories or anything that you want to share, that you want to share with us, or, anything that I didn't ask about that you would like to discuss, just, you know,
I think the one thing I would love to put forth is I have so many theories, but my theory about why I love making stuff and I love pushing people into making things. So people always ask me, aren't you like overwhelmed? Because I learned woodworking, I learned glass, I try to learn metalsmithing, I try to like pick up everything that I can. But the idea is when you walk into a room, the reason why I'm always so excited, one of the reasons I'm so excited is that I have so much to be excited about, right? Because I'm observing the glass, I'm observing the light, I'm observing the woodwork, I'm adding so many dimensions to the way I'm looking at the room. And some people relate with me, whoever's done that specific thing, and they understand the excitement. But yeah, like that is my theory. And I would love for people to just try to do that, just go pick up a new material. The world expands in front of you. Like you'll think of your teacher whenever you look at that thing, or you'll think of the funny thing or the stupid thing you did when you were learning that thing. It definitely expands your worldview.
Oh yeah, totally. Oh, and Jeff, so we have a community member, Seth, he's amazing. He does a lot of woodworking. He was showing us his like pirate swords that he made for a party, and he's working on a lightsaber. And he does a lot of I think like cutting boards, but with the like cheese knife. I can't remember. I feel like there's a fancy name for it. Oh,
Charcuterie board.
charcuterie. Charcuterie board. Yes. Um, yeah. What up? Hi, I'm Ray. But yeah, I love how there are so many people that are creative, with their coding and within tech and everything, but then also, away from the computer, away from the screen with their hands.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. It's definitely a whole new community and it unlocks different ways. So one of the things, Roxy, by the way, when I host a community event, I tell people is you need to connect with 3 people, but not on LinkedIn. So go connect with them on Duolingo, go connect with them on Pinterest, go connect with them on anywhere except LinkedIn. And that usually really opens up spaces for more conversation. So yeah.
That's a really good idea. We actually have a meetup in Charlotte tomorrow. So maybe, because of the nature of the beast, I'll be like LinkedIn and connect in 2 places.
Yeah, LinkedIn max, like connect with as many people on LinkedIn, but like 3 people try to connect outside LinkedIn. Just a slight scratch for the surface, like
Yeah, I have this oh no. Oh no, there it is. I have this screen for whenever I go to oh, go away. My alerts are blocking it. For whenever I go to conferences and stuff. It's the
Oh, lovely. I want to make that one, yeah, for myself.
But yeah, no, it's definitely a really good idea. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to write that down as well. I feel like I thought of this myself. I'm putting it in the jar with my bracelets. I'm just kidding.
I love that. No.
I would totally give you credit.
Like, go up there, I'm in the room, you go, this is my idea, and give me a wink. Amazing. I would love that.
No,
yes.
I would not steal it.
Please do. No, please do.
Oh no, I'd be like, hey, have y'all heard of Ritvi? This is her idea. But yeah, thank you. If you have anything else to share, feel free, because if not, I'm just gonna, thank you for everything.
I think I'm good. I think I've spoken a lot considering I'm still coughing. I should really not
I
be
know.
talking.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on here.
Oh, you're good. I love talking. It's a part of my job, talking. Need to be good at it.
Yeah, no, and you're really good at it. No, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. I know you're not feeling well, and I think what time is it over there? Like evening? Is it really late?
11:40 p.m.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I was thinking it was like 8 p.m.
It's amazing. Totally worth it. It's good because it's quiet now. You're not hearing like a million other conversations outside, which you would otherwise. So great time.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. So thank y'all for showing up, and thank you for all your stories and your ideas and your quotes and everything. Like, this is the most I've written while speaking to somebody. So thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. And
yes, 26 years.
And I hope to run into you this fall during conference season. Yeah.
Yes, very, very soon.
But yeah, thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this.